What's happening, guys? Welcome to the inaugural Fundamentals podcast, where the foundation of sport meets the future of the game. I'm your host, Jalen Slaughter, and whether you're a casual or a diehard fan like myself, I'm here to break down everything in sport today, both now and in the future. This is our inaugural show, so we will only keep this brief so I can just kind of get to know y'all kind of get to know me and some of the thoughts I have. So I'm going to keep today strictly on basketball, but we will be talking about soccer, football, hockey, baseball, the whole nine. Every single sport you could think about, we're going to cover it here. But for us today, we're going to start with basketball, so let's get to it. So, as you guys probably know, we are in the off season of the NBA. And there has been a lot of different moves and a lot of different things that have been going on this offseason. And it's definitely been one of the most busiest off seasons I've ever seen in my life. And truth be told, I think many would agree it's been the most busiest off season ever in general. And so I'm here to break down some of those moves, man, because I feel like some of them are being overlooked, and I feel like others are being overlooked for obvious reasons, and I feel like some are being overlooked for bad reasons, right? So let's get into it. Obviously, pretty sure we all know the main headline right now is going to be LeBron. LeBron James has opted out of his contract with the Lakers and has informed them he will not be coming back. This happened a couple of weeks ago, so it has been a couple of weeks since he's made this decision, and we still don't know where he's going to go, right? Truth be told, I'm not sure. I am a Lakers fan, so obviously I have my thoughts about this, and I'm a LeBron fan, so I'm definitely torn between two worlds. But I will say that LeBron has been a consummate pro while he's with the Lakers, and I definitely wish him nothing but the best. However, I don't really know where he fits best because, I'm pretty sure y'all know a lot of teams have been pitching him. I'm pretty sure if you've watched basketball over the last couple of weeks and the news behind it, the Warriors have been pitching him right since Draymond is good friends of his, and obviously he's always said he wants to play with Steph. The 76ers, which we'll talk about later, they've been pitching him because of some, ties that he has to a couple of their players there. The Cavs, obviously, I think we all believe that he should go back to the Cleveland Cavaliers. That would be my first choice, just because, what other way that you could end a storybook chapter in the life of one of the greatest players of all time, right? If not number one, definitely number two, right? How better to end it than ending it at home, with that type of story. I feel like it would be with a chance to win a championship as well, because the Cavs are a good team. If you remember, they were in the Eastern Conference Finals last year, and they got blasted, but they were there, right? And one could say if they win game one without blowing that 20-point lead, who knows? Maybe the Cavs are NBA champions right now. So I feel like they're pieces away, and I feel like LeBron could definitely help, them in some of their lack. So I feel like that would be the best option. But it remains to be seen. But I mentioned LeBron because he's kind of holding up on some of the other moves that are going on. But there has been some big moves, so let's talk about it. Obviously, I'm pretty sure you guys know as well, Giannis Antetokounmpo, the Milwaukee Bucks legend, was traded to the Miami Heat this offseason. I think the writing was already on the wall with this one, so isn't really much to say other than I understand it for both teams. I understand it from Milwaukee's perspective. They want to rebuild. They want to move on, right? They weren't going to win a championship with Giannis anymore. That era was over, and so now being able to rebuild with some young pieces like Khalil Ware and Jaime Jaquez, even Tyler Hero, we'll see where they can go. They drafted some really good young players as well, so I'm really excited to see how they grow together. And then for Miami, it's win or go home. It's win now and go home later. Honestly, they have a roster that's completely tied up into Giannis and his money. Giannis is older, though. Giannis is in his early 30s, and so he's not going to be, the force he's always been his whole career. So they have to win now. And I feel like as long as they make the requisite moves around him, which they're also in the LeBron sweepstakes. I didn't mention them because I feel like that's a terrible fit. But who knows? If they get LeBron is cerebral enough to make it happen. So we'll see. But yeah, I feel like both teams definitely won in that trade. I feel like both teams got better in pertaining to the specific timelines that they're going on. Another trade that kind of is linked to that trade, because this guy was also rumored to go there. Two guys, actually. The first one I mentioned is Ja Morant to the Trailblazers, mainly because this is a move that really nobody saw coming. None of us, unless you just have inside information, I don't think any of us saw Ja Morant going to the Trailblazers. And seeing that trade and what they got back for him, kind of makes you scratch your head a little bit. Because if you remember, Ja Morant was an All-NBA player just 2 years ago. And now he's getting traded for, respectfully, a bag of chips. And so, it's going to be very interesting to see how Portland, where they're going with this. They have a young team, including Dame coming back off an injury. So it's going to be really exciting to see where they go and how they, formulate this team around these young dudes they have, including Dame, as the veteran leadership on the team as well. And then the other trade is Kawhi Leonard. I'm pretty sure that if you are a hoop head like I am, you've seen the scandal, the aspiration tree scandal, and you know that who knows what this trade is going to end up as. But as of today, he has been traded to the Toronto Raptors for Grady Dick and Brandon Ingram and some second-round picks. And truth be told, I love it for both teams. I feel like it gives Brandon Ingram a fresh new start in LA. He obviously his career started in LA, so obviously this wouldn't be any change of anything different for him. He's been there, he's lived there before. And then for Grady Dick, he gets to play on a team that's obviously clearly rebuilding now with Darius Garland and Brandon Ingram and Keaton Wagler, their 5th overall pick that they just drafted this year. They're rebuilding, and so it's going to be interesting to see if he can get some tick and kind of show the player that he used to be at Kansas, show that kind of, upside again. To see what the Clippers can get out of him. And then for the Raptors, it's a win. You get a 2-time Finals MVP, one of the best players of all time, who's just coming off his best season ever. I feel like, you really couldn't go wrong, right? Because I think we all could agree they weren't winning a championship with Brandon Ingram as their second best player. It just wasn't happening. But you can win a championship with Kawhi as your best player and Scotty Barnes as your second best player. We've seen Kawhi win it with Pascal Siakam as the second best player. And Scotty Barnes, in my opinion, is just as good, if not better, than Pascal was at that period in time of his career. So I think we can all agree the Raptors are now firm, entrenched contenders in the Eastern Conference as long as the trade does go through. Now, obviously, there is some chances that, it doesn't. And if it doesn't, I feel like that's a whole different conversation for another podcast. But we'll definitely see. I'll keep you y'all up to date on, the things that come out of that investigation as well. Some of the other smaller trades that have happened that aren't big and major, if I get to the one that I feel like is the most wild card trade of them all, LaMelo Ball got traded to the Timberwolves. I feel like that's once again a good trade for both teams. I feel like LaMelo is going to be able to unlock something in Anthony Edwards that no other point guard has been able to do, because he also demands a lot of attention. And if you give all your attention to LaMelo, you're going to have to give it to Ant. And if you don't give it all to Ant, LaMelo's going to go off. And so I feel like their energies match because they are both the same age. They're both kind of the same, they come from the same type of background. I feel like they got the same vibe going on. So I feel like it's going to be lit in Minnesota this year. Another trade that happened that most people don't think about that I feel like is going to be really impactful is, it's a signing trade. Walker Kessler to the Lakers. I feel like, as a Lakers fan, obviously I'm a little biased, but I feel like this actually was not a good trade for the Lakers, if I'm being completely honest. I feel like this is one of those trades where, the Lakers have a need, and I think we all know that. But I feel like the problem is, the Lakers have a need that isn't going to be filled by just one guy. And they went out there and spent all their money on this one guy. And I'm just hoping that for what they're looking for, which they need a lot, that, Walker Kessler can come in and fill that void. But I'm just, as much as I love Walk, I'm just not sure that he can do that. But I'm wishing for the best. We did pay him a hefty price, so I'm hoping that he's worth every single dime. And I know he'll play good. I just hope that he plays up to that contract. And finally, there is other trades, but we'll get to those in another video. But finally, the trade that you probably all came here for, truth be told, because this is the main trade of the season so far, and that's going to be Jaylen Brown to the 76ers. And now you might ask, why is the Giannis trade not bigger? Why are some of the other moves not bigger than this one? Well, the truth be told is this is the biggest move because this is a lateral move, right? This is Celtics to 76ers, two of the biggest rivals in sports history, making a transaction of not only just a player, but an all-star player, but not only just an all-star caliber player, an MVP level caliber player, right? Coming off his best season of his career, right? And so from the Celtics perspective, I'm gonna be honest, guys, I didn't really understand it at first. I was confused on why Brad Stevens, their GM, would even make a move like this. But as time has gone on, and I've listened and I've done some research on it, I actually like it for both teams. again, I know I said a lot of these trades I like for both teams, but I really thought there's been some really good moves across in this offseason that's definitely made it active, but also beneficial for a lot of teams. And I feel like when it comes to the Celtics, adding Paul George and subtracting Jaylen Brown, although it's not a lateral move, it definitely fits the way the Celtics want to play now, which is more of a team-style ball, right? They want to play that Spurs-style basketball, back when Tim Duncan used to play for the Spurs, where it's you have JT, Jason Tatum, who's your best player, a.k.a. Tim Duncan, but you have other ancillary pieces around him that get the job done as well, and that can each fill in for you any given night and give you 20 to 25, right? They have like 4 to 5 guys now who can fill in and fill it up for you at any given point in time. And it's going to be very beautiful to see if they make some, more moves, whether that be through trade or maybe through even if there's another signing out there that we may not see right now. If they can facilitate different moves to make, them being the contenders again. I do not feel like they are contenders right now as they're currently constructed, but they're not far off. I feel like Paul George is going to be a very good addition to that team for leadership. And then Paul George is still a hooper. We've seen in the playoffs against the Celtics, he definitely still has it in the tank. And so it's going to be very interesting to see Paul play for the C's this summer. And also JT. This has everything to do with JT. Celtics are basically giving him the keys again and saying, hey, big dog, we believe in you. We know you can do it. So let's see it. And JT's one of my favorite players. So I can't wait to see him do his thing out there this fall, man. So as you can see, there's been a lot of moves this summer, and so it's going to be very interesting to see how the NBA season plays out. Once LeBron lets us know where he's going, I will have an instant reaction for that. I'll probably be live for the first time ever, actually, for that one, because that's going to be a big deal. So I will keep y'all up to date on that. Other than that, let's talk Summer League real quick before I let y'all go. Summer League has not disappointed at all. There's been a lot of different players that have made a name for themselves, but also the ones that already had names. They showed why they have those names. I'm going to start at the top with AJ Debinsa, Washington Wizards #1 overall pick. He showed in 2 games only playing in that he's that guy, right? I believe he averaged anywhere between 20 to 25 points. And he just showed why, he's tailor-made for this game, in the NBA today, right? He's going to slide right in alongside Trae Young and Anthony Davis, and he's going to be that third piece that I really feel like makes the Wizards a sneaky team in the Eastern Conference, And I feel like he's shown that he's able to be so adaptable to the game nowadays that it doesn't matter if he doesn't have the ball a lot. He is a force multiplier. So he's going to be able to make plays happen whenever the ball's in his hands. And he's going to draw attention because of the skill set that he has and the ability he has to get down the lane. He's going to be able to drive and kick with the best of them as a rookie. And so I can't wait to see him play. He's shown absolutely no signs of why he shouldn't have been the #1 overall pick. The #2 pick was Darren Peterson. Once again, I feel like he actually is more NBA ready than anybody in this draft, and he definitely showed that even in the Utah Summer League, and then moving on to the Vegas Summer League as well. Just a consummate pro, man. I mean, this guy is going to be a bucket for a long time, and I think we all can see that. Just getting to it, man. And he's also showing his point guard bag off. He had a game this Summer League when he had 12 assists. And although he did struggle with turnovers and he has to get a little stronger and a little better with, decision making, I feel like coming into the team that he's coming into as well, the Utah Jazz, which now they have a squad and they're going to be competing now. I feel like it's going to help him, be able to develop a little quicker, learning from Keontae, learning from Jaren, learning from Lauri Markkanen and the other players they have on that staff, with Will Hardy being a really good and up-and-coming young coach. I feel like he has a chance to really thrive and blossom in his first year as well. So it's going to be very interesting to see him too. The #3 overall pick, Cam Boozer, kind of Mr. Fundamental himself. It's been beautiful to see him play basketball, man, because like everyone says, he's a consummate pro. He won't ever give you nothing less than probably 17 and 10 every night, and that means coming out the gate. I do feel like Memphis is going to struggle this year because they really they're void of a lot of talent. But he is going to show up every single night and play his butt off, and it's going to be very interesting to see him play as well. So he has also been a great look at his Summer League as well, showing off the 3-ball, showing off, a little bit of his handle a little bit. So it's going to be very interesting to see how he plays this season, with the ball is in his hand primarily, since obviously the Grizzlies have moved off of Ja Morant and Jaren over the last couple of seasons. #4 overall pick, and probably the guy that has the most unknown about him right now is Caleb Wilson. He came out in his first Summer League game, guys, and he did not disappoint. He had 35 big ones. And as a matter of fact, he was the only Summer League top player to really play more than 2 games. He played 3, and when he was asked about it in the interview, he said, I love to hoop. Like, I do this for a living, right? And you can see it in the way he plays. He just loves to hoop, man. And he's a joy to watch. He's a dog. If you want a dog, that is a dog. He is, one person compared him to KG, that is literally a player comp. But he can shoot. And so I'm really excited about him. I think he has the highest upside right now that I've seen so far, just because his 3-ball does look pure. And so it's going to be interesting to see on this Bulls team, which is a very interesting lineup. It seems like a good team on paper. So we'll see if he can come in and assert himself early. They should be good to go. And then last but not least, I'm going to stop at top 5. But I'm going to give an honorable mention to a couple of players. Keaton Walker, they went number 5 to the Clippers. I'm going to be transparent. Haven't really seen much from Keaton. He's been, a good piece. But I honestly think that's what he'll probably be the first couple of years in his career. He'll be a good role player. I don't really see star potential right now, but that could change. He was a really good player at Illinois, and so I can't wait to see his development as well. Some of the other honorable mentions of players that have been playing pretty good in Summer League. I've seen some Yegor Joman highlights. He is the Brooklyn Nets first-round pick from last year from BYU, 6'9" point guard. He has shown me a lot, and I cannot wait to watch him and Michael Brown Jr., their first-round pick from this year, continue to grow together as a backcourt. I feel like that's really promising for the next upcoming 5+ years to watch them grow together as players. Darius Acuff has had a rough time. He's a number 8 overall pick. He has had a rough time this Summer League. He's beating up a lot of shots, but not making a lot of them. So he's been kind of going through the motions, but I'm glad that he has the confidence to be able to take those shots, because watching him play, it's been a joy, because I tell he has that dog in him. And the Kings, they need a dog, because they haven't had a dog in a minute since De'Aaron Fox left. So it's definitely gonna be interesting to see how they give him the keys and allow him to be him. And there's some couple of players that are like outside of the lottery that have been playing really good. I've seen some really good minutes from Cameron Carr for the Lakers. Obviously, I'm a Lakers fan, so I've seen some really good minutes from him. I've seen some really good minutes from Hans Steinbeck from the Hornets. The other day, he had 27 and 15, and so I've seen him play really good. Then there's a couple of second and third year players that have also been putting on for their teams as well, and I'll talk about them in another episode. But overall, I feel like the Summer League, if you're a basketball hoop head, definitely check it out. I feel like it's something that you can watch to learn about different strategies and different coaching tactics. If you're a coach like myself, you can learn from watching these players play in the Summer League, because it's definitely a training ground. You got coaches, assistant coaches trying out different things with these players, and players trying out different things, right? And so it's definitely an interesting thing to watch. Actually, I forgot one more person. I forgot to shout him out, but he's been hooping. Braden Burris from the Milwaukee Bucks, their first-round pick this year, one of 2 actually. He has been balling. I feel like he has shown that he is one of them ones. And if you watched college basketball last year, you knew he was one of those ones. But he's really shown he can be one of those ones. And also one more, I actually forgot. I'm so sorry. Yaxel Lindenborg, number 9 overall pick. He also has shown up and shown out, both in California Summer League and in Vegas. He's shown that he's just a plug-and-play player, man. He is ready for the big leagues now. He's 24, so obviously he's an older rookie, but he's ready. The Warriors are going to be able to put him in day one and allow him to go do his thing. And it's going to be interesting to see him play alongside Steph and watch that pick and roll kind of dynamic go, right? Because obviously he's Draymond's replacement. So it's going to be very interesting to see how they kind of slide him into that rotation as well. But other than that, guys, it's been a journey. It's been a blessing. I am so glad that you have taken this journey with me on this first inaugural podcast of mine. This will not be the last. I used to have a podcast and I was not as consistent, but now we are more consistent. We're going to be back every single week to drop an episode. Just make sure that y'all, like the video, make sure that you give it to your friends, tell them what time it is, let them know that, something else is out there that's fresh and new. And I'm going to keep giving y'all my opinions. If y'all ever want to come on the show as well, please let me know. Obviously I'm new, so I will, have a conversation with anybody about sport. And even if you want to, argue a little bit, I love a good argument as well. So, but other than that, thank you guys for tuning in. And we'll see you guys next time on the next episode of the Fundamentals Podcast.